Hello everyone and welcome back to Tales from the TBR. My name is Dorothy. Today we have the February wrap up. There are 9 books in total that I've read this month, 2 DNFs, and oh boy, do I have quite a few books to haul for you guys in this. So without further ado, let's talk about the books. As you guys learned in January, I am doing all the books that I read, all the movies and TV shows that I've watched, as well as all the books that I've purchased in the month of February, because I feel like this is like a good way to keep track of all the things that are going on. So, further ado, let's start. First book I finished was 5 stars, was The Do-Over by none other than Miss Lynn Painter. This was perfect. I started it when I felt like I was about to be in a slump because of the Mortal Instruments series. And so I was like, you know what always gets me out of a slump? Miss Lynn Painter. I got this for Christmas from my boyfriend's family, which was so nice of them. I adored this book. 5 stars because obviously as a child of divorce, this really spoke to me. I really enjoyed seeing Emily's feelings about how she always wanted to not be a problem, especially for her parents as they've continued on in their new lives. And she is just now the factor of the life that they originally had together. I adored this. The Groundhog Day element was so much fun, and I really appreciated how once Emily makes this decision, that's when the day doesn't reset again. And it felt really realistic, and I really loved it. And I think Emily and Nick are just an adorable couple, and the way that he gets her back is just beautiful. So, yes, The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. The next book that we read was also a 5-star read and an anticipated release and a book that I bought in January. The Final Offer by Miss Lauren Asher. Are you guys surprised? No, you shouldn't be. This is my favorite book of the Dreamland Billionaires series. I loved Cal and Alana so much. This felt more slow burn than the other 2 books in this series, which I really enjoyed because this is the longest one, rightfully so, because it felt like there was a lot of work that both Cal and Alana needed to do in order to get to the point where they could be together. And I seriously loved the single mom trope in this. It was done so well, and Cal's journey in this book alone is just so good. You find out so much about him and his just life, and his big moment in this book. My mouth was agape. The smut in here isn't really that important for me, at least, because I feel like the main focus is their relationship and how they get back to this place of allowing each other into each other's lives. And it was perfect. If you guys don't know, I recommend the Dreamland Billionaires series 10 times over. So, yeah. The next book I picked this up in January. I ended up reading it because I was like, it's gonna be a fast read for me. And that was The Valentine's Hate by Sidney Halston. I gave this book 3 stars. It's very short, so I think if you're in need of like just a nice little fun romance, you guys should pick this up. Overall, I thought for the fact that it's not, I don't even think it's over 300 pages. Yeah, for the fact that it's not over 300 pages, the character development in this, as well as the relationship development, was done really, really well. I liked the dynamics between Lizzie and Brian. I had to, because I was thinking of her full name, Lisette, which is not what she's called in this book most of the time. I thought that they were done really well. I also like that this book opens with like seeing the first time that they meet, because if you guys don't know, this book follows like 2 people who grew up together essentially, and Lizzie ends up kind of seeing Brian as like a bully who has ruined her Valentine's Day since the moment he walked into her life. And then they end up meeting again on a plane to Mexico, where Lisette is going to her best friend's wedding, but Brian is a famous author who is having to deal with movie press, even though he's very, very antisocial. I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was exactly what I needed at the time, and I think that this is just a nice and easy short read. The next book I picked up was an anticipated release. You guys already know how I feel about it if you've watched the vlog for it, and that is Secretly Yours by Miss Tessa Bailey. This was a 3.5 for me. I, as you guys can see, tabbed it, loved it. Tessa Bailey, again, another one that I love. I really enjoyed their dynamics in this, and I have already talked about this book at length. If you guys want to hear all of my full thoughts on it, I will leave the full Secretly Yours vlog links down below in the description, so you guys can go watch it as I get it on release day, and then a full review of everything with spoilers. I just really enjoyed it, like, just genuinely. It was just so much fun, and I loved it. The next book I picked up, and this is a purchase of February as well, so there's that. And this is Flawless by Elsie Silver. I gave this book 4.5 stars. This ended up being the buddy read for me and Tia this month. I loved it. Rhett Eaton is so hot, and I just genuinely enjoyed this. Once I started reading it, I could not stop. I quite literally read it in about 2 days, I believe. It was just so good. Rhett and Summer's dynamics are so good. The smut is so good. Rhett in general is just that guy. This got me into cowboy romances, essentially, and now I'm so excited to read more. I will be continuing Elsie Silver's work because I love it so much. Her writing style is literally so easy to read, but it makes so much sense for the characters, and it just works. It really just works. And I cannot recommend this book enough. Genuinely, this is also on Kindle Unlimited, so if you don't want the physical copy, go read it on Kindle Unlimited because it's so good. Thank me later. Now, the next book is the Kiss and Tell book for February, which is Zodiac Academy, Book 1, The Awakening. I gave this book 1.5 stars. You guys will be seeing this after the live show for this because, oh boy, I need to do a full book talk about this for that. And let me just say, most of these tabs here are my, why am I reading this and what in the world is going on? Because this was just such a roller coaster. It genuinely was not good. I really had a difficult time with the characters and their decisions and why they were choosing to do things, and the fact that I find none of the men in this book redeemable at all. I think they're all trash, and I think that they should all die because they were terrible and I hated them the whole time. I don't know what people see in this. I know people say, oh, you gotta wait till book 3 and it gets good. No, I'm series DNFing it. I don't want to read any more of this confusing character choices that don't make sense. So yeah, I gave it 1.5. I will not be continuing this series. Kelsey was the reason we picked this, and Kelsey, I love you, but this, this was bad. And that's all I gotta say. And then the next book redeemed me because I read Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. This book was a 3.5 for me. I love this series. This starts my journey into more intense topic romances, which we will be talking about more in a minute. I loved this. Winslow and Griffin are their chemistry insane in the membrane. I loved it so much. Seriously, Devney Perry's writing, so good. I literally influenced Jenny to read this the instant I put an Instagram up about it. And then she read it and loved it. What can I say? I got good taste with this book. It's so good. It's a mystery romance. We gotta figure out what's going on with these girls falling off of a cliff. And the plot twist was done so well, and it was so good, And the instant it hit, I went, oh my God, this makes so much sense. She set it up so perfectly. So good. I'm going to be continuing this series. I'm going to just continue the series. I'm going to continue Devney Perry's work because beautiful book. Beautiful book. Beautiful book. The next one I read in one day because after I started, I couldn't stop. And that's Throttled by Lauren Asher. Are we surprised that I read it all in one day? Because that's like my vibe for Lauren Asher, apparently. I gave this book 3 stars. I loved it. I think that, oh God, what's his name? Noah's hot as hell. And the smut, good. The dynamics, good. The not really a conflict third act, so good. I thought it was gonna be a huge blow up and then it wasn't, and I was like, this is what I was hoping for, because I didn't want it to be such a big thing that then like breaks up her brother and his teammate or whatever. And I also learned about Formula One, which is kind of interesting. I have no interest in watching it. I'm so sorry, Tia and Han, but I don't have an interest in watching it. I will continue this series, though, to continue reading about it, because I think it's fun. But, yeah, I loved it, and I think it's fun. I think it's good. I think it's a nice, easy read. And now, the last book that I read in February is Tattered Stars by Catherine Cowles. I am so happy that I read this. I gave this 4 stars. Again, another heavier hitting romance, I will say. Please check the trigger warnings for this one. This one could potentially be more triggering than Indigo Ridge, especially, yeah, just I would double check that, you know, because there's some potential kidnapping. There's some very not great, but there is no there's no assault, there's no abuse, but there is just like, it's a little creepy. So just like, you know, double check, because I don't want to recommend you something that hurts you. So like double check. I gave this 4 stars. I loved it. The way that Everly and, oh God, what's his name? Hayes. What a good name. Hayes is such a good name. Hayes. Everly and Hayes have just such this beautiful like upward moment together, and I loved it. And normally when some indie romances have this big, very dramatic third act, I get really annoyed, but it made sense in this one, and it felt natural in this one, whereas like in Twisted Love it was not, that was too much, but this was done so well. I loved it. It was so good. I'm also going to be continuing this series because I'm obsessed. So yeah, now let's quickly talk about the 2 DNFs that we have this month. We got Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, which I feel really bad about because I really wanted to like this, but I got about 70 pages in before I DNF'd it. And the reason I ended up DNFing it is because I was really bored. I didn't find any connection with the characters, and I also was struggling to just be in, like, focused on the plot. I didn't really care. So that's why I ended up DNFing it. And the next one was also very sad for me to DNF. I gotta take out the bookmark yet. This was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. A lot was going on, and I think I might have potentially, this is a softer DNF than Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, because I started annotating it kind of like it was a textbook, which is not smart for me, because one of the biggest reasons that I dropped out of college was the fact that it took away my love of reading, and I started annotating in the way that took away my love of reading, so I ended up DNFing it because I just couldn't. I will be trying this again at some point because I do have the audiobook to try it with, so we will see. But yes, I did end up DNFing Ninth House. Now, let's talk about the 4 movies that I've seen this month. Shout out to Courtney, and yeah, no, just really shout out to Courtney because 3 of the 4 of these were watched with her. The first one that I watched was Your Place or Mine, which is a Netflix movie. It's a rom-com featuring Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher. I really enjoyed this. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. I think it was just, you know, very funny and also very cute, and I really liked it. I didn't expect myself to like it as much as I ended up liking it. So yeah, I would recommend this one. The next two were rewatches for me. We watched The Greatest Showman, which was so much fun. Another 4 out of 5 because I do just enjoy it, even if the fact that it's about P.T. Barnum is not great. If you don't know, P.T. Barnum is very problematic. And they made a musical about him. But Hugh Jackman's hot, and so is Zac Efron, so it's fine, and the music's good. And then we also ended up watching Hamilton, which this was like the 4th time that I've seen it. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 because obviously what else can you give Hamilton? It's perfect. And then just last night we watched She Said on a Peacock, which is a movie about the reporters that did the story on Harvey Weinstein's misconduct of women in the workplace. I loved it. I loved it so much. It's a 5 out of 5. I highly recommend it. I think it is a must-watch movie, honestly. The portrayals in this are so good. They even have Ashley Judd in it, with, if you don't know, Ashley Judd was one of the named sources in the piece that came out. And I loved it. I think it is so good. So please go read it, go watch it, because it's beautiful. Okay, now we gotta talk about the books that I bought. Okay, so in no particular order, I'm just gonna say it right now. I bought way more books in February than I did in January. So, yeah, don't judge me. Anyways, the first one I have here is A Guide to Being Just Friends by Sophie Sullivan. I don't remember where I saw this. I think I might have seen it on NetGalley, and I really wanted to try it out after I read the synopsis. And so they just end up deciding to try to be friends, but then obviously they're gonna fall in love. So yeah, obviously. This is a very popular book I need to read, and that is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This has been recommended to me by Bookstagram, TikTok, people on the Discord. Just, everyone in sight has been like, hey, have you seen Archer's Voice? And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll read it. So here we go. I bought it. I have no self-control. And then I also completed my Brown Sisters trilogy with actor age Eve Brown. I accidentally bought the UK version, which means that they are different than my 2 American copies. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't think about it. Let's see here. I also bought Secretly Yours, which you guys are aware of. Loved it. Read it already. I also I bought all 3 of these Indigo Ridge, Throttled and Tattered Stars this month, which obviously I've already read. You all know my feelings. And then I bought the entire Chestnut Springs series as it's been released. So we have Flawless, Heartless, and Powerless. I've already read Flawless. You guys know how I feel about it. I'm currently reading Heartless, and I will most likely be reading Powerless very, very soon because I don't have any self-control. I bought Teach Me by Olivia Dade for the Kiss and Tell book club. I bought too many books. It's fine. And then I got Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This is recommended by a couple of people on the Discord. I believe Simone, Emma, and Aileen read it, and they enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to give it a shot. Then I bought Do I Know You by Emily Wilberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. These are the authors of The Roughest Draft, which I really want to read this year at some point. This one sounds so interesting, though. It's a married couple that gets mistaken as being singles on their vacation, and then they just pretend to be singles, and that they're like, oh, I'm interested in you, because their marriage is failing. And then this is like kind of spicing it up, so I'm intrigued. I also bought Icebreaker by Hannah Grace because they had it at my Barnes & Noble, and I said, oh my god, I can't not get it. I love this book. I love this book so much. I can't not have a physical copy of it because, come on, I am going to reread it this year before the second one comes out so I can annotate it with all of my love for Nathan Hawkins. because as you guys know, love me some Nathan Hawkins. And the last book that I bought is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, because I needed to complete my Infernal Devices series because I only had the first 2. So yeah, that is everything. February was a lot. Hopefully in March we don't have as many books. And if we do, someone yell at me, because I need to be saving money and not spending it all on books. Will that happen? Who knows? Anyways, this has been the February wrap-up. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the books that I have read, what you read in February, what you watched in February, what you hauled in February, all the good things. And if you guys like this content, make sure to subscribe. In the month of March, there is only Sunday videos. So I will see you again in the next one on Sunday. Mwah. Bye!